He sure has come a long way since The Man Show.
Ziggy-zaggy, ziggy-zaggy, hoi, hoi, hoi! Ziggy-zaggy, ziggy-zaggy, hoi, hoi, hoi!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 hilarious Jimmy Kimmel guests. For this list, we're looking at the funniest people to grace Kimmel's guest chair. Whether comedians, actors, musicians, or wolves, Jimmy tends to bring out the fun in his guests as only he can. Number 10. Dave Chappelle. It rarely gets funnier than Dave Chappelle. This famed comic rose to popularity through his early stand-up performances, namely the 2000 HBO special Killin' Them Softly, but later shot to superstardom with the debut of Comedy Central's Chappelle's Show, only to shock the world by taking a sudden and lengthy personal break from showbiz. Thankfully, Dave's back with new stand-up specials on Netflix, and no one seems happier with his return than Jimmy Kimmel.
Why did you decide to put two of them out?
Money.
Money.
I'm scared.
In true Chappelle fashion, the comedian tells it like it is during this segment with the TV host, mixing jokes with biting honesty, leaving both the audience and Kimmel himself in stitches.
You feel pressure now to leave a bigger tip at a restaurant, especially in the glow of the news this is happening to you?
I don't know if you've heard the stereotype, black people don't tip well.
But make no mistake, he's not interested in reviving his past fame. He really just needed a paycheck. Number 9. Jennifer Aniston. Anyone that grew up on Friends knows that Aniston has killer comedic chops, and she hasn't stopped being funny in the years since, appearing in numerous hit comedies like 2013's We're the Millers, and teamed up with longtime pal Adam Sandler for the Netflix comedy Murder Mystery in 2019. She remains a sex symbol in the eyes of many, and Jimmy knows it, writing some not-so-subtle Friends fan fiction with himself as Ross, trying to get Aniston into bed.
Yes, let's meet our friends, but not until we have made love several times because you are very good at it.
Backed by fellow Friends co-stars Courtney Cox and Lisa Kudrow, though, Aniston cuts Jimmy's dream threesome short and politely suggests that he should go F himself instead.
We have 22 more pages here in the lovemaking scene.
Make love to yourself, Jimmy.
Oh.
Number 8. Seth Rogen. He's everyone's favorite stoner, and it kind of feels like we've watched him grow up on screen since his debut in high school cult comedy series Freaks and Geeks. Seriously, it seems as if Rogen featured in many of the biggest and most memorable funny movies of the aughts, starting with The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up, before moving on to Superbad, which he also co-wrote, and Pineapple Express.
I just kept smoking it in Steven Spielberg's face as I saw, like, the look on his face where he's just like, I'm never working with this mother ever again.
The dude is no stranger to laughs, and so when he sat down with Jimmy to talk about his Hilarity for Charity stand-up special in 2018, he proved that he's still got it, leaving Jimmy and the audience in stitches talking about his favorite people to smoke weed with.
Snoop Dogg, obviously on it.
Yeah.
I think Woody Harrelson is probably on it.
Yeah, probably. He did a lot for weed.
Yeah.
Spoiler, Snoop Dogg is, high on the list. Number 7. Barack Obama. He's not only one of the most popular US presidents in 21st century memory, but if he'd failed to ever run for office, he could have a bright future in comedy as well. The man's just got good timing.
You know, if I ran a third time, it'd be sort of like doing a third Hangover movie. Didn't really work out very well, did it?
He's roasted Zach Galifianakis on his show, Between Two Ferns. He famously dropped the mic during his last White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he even slow-jammed the news with other popular late-night host Jimmy Fallon. So it just makes sense that he'd also appear on Kimmel's show in one of its most popular bits, Mean Tweets.
A 30 rack of Coors Light is $23 now at Sunstop. Thanks, Obama.
Our favorite tweet? Obviously it's the dude busting Obama's chops for the rising price of Coors Light at corner stores.
You know, the LOL is redundant when you have the haha.
Number 6. Scarlett Johansson. Sure, we associate ScarJo more with her dramatic roles and her appearances as Black Widow in the Avengers movies, but she's not a total stranger to comedy. After all, she did appear briefly in Home Alone 3. Anyway, we think ScarJo's humor in the MCU is just scratching the surface, and she shows us as much in this interview, claiming that Kimmel keeps her body toned year-round with his home exercise routine, Hottie Body Hump Club.
Fad diets and workout plans only lead to disappointment and frustration.
Thanks, Scarlett, but not anymore, because now you can become a member of my exclusive Hottie Body Hump Club.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of sexy starlets humping exercise balls, with Jimmy cheering them on. But Johansson clearly enjoys the chance to embrace her silly side for a change, hamming it up big time in front of the cameras. It's just so perfectly absurd. Number 5, Jim Carrey. It would be pretty hard to put together a list of funny people and not have Jim Carrey on it. He's been responsible for busting many a gut since his days on the underrated sketch comedy show In Living Color in the early 90s, and he brought to life such memorable characters as Ace Ventura, Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber, and the morose cable guy.
Dost have thou a mug of ale for me and me mate?
Although he's not as active in movies and comedy as he once was, Jim still found time to grace Jimmy's guest chair in 2017 and give us all a few laughs when he joked about the irony of growing a massive grizzly man beard while continually shaving his, southern regions.
The question is not why are you growing a beard, the question is why am I growing a beard and still shaving my balls?
Number 4, Rihanna. Singer/actress? Check. Businesswoman? Check. Fashion designer? Yup, she does that too. Comedian? Surprisingly, yes. It turns out Riri has a silly streak of her own and loves a good laugh, particularly when watching Jimmy's April Fool's Day pranks. So when she appeared on the show back in 2015 on, you guessed it, April Fool's Day, she sure as hell wasn't gonna let the opportunity to prank Jimmy slip by. It's probably a lot of guys' fantasies to wake up to Rihanna dancing and throwing money at them, but from the looks of it, Jimmy's not one of them.
It seemed like a UFO had landed.
Number 3, Matt Damon. Better known for his more dramatic roles, Damon definitely revels in the opportunity to get silly off-screen. Sure, the Ocean's movies had comedic elements, and he's appeared on TV comedies such as 30 Rock and Entourage, but he's still best known for being funny outside of roles, like his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
On the bed, on the floor, on a towel by the door, in the tub, in the car, up against the minibar.
The hilarious feud between Jimmy and Matt goes back a long way, and has seen highlights such as I'm f***ing Matt Damon, Matt's takeover of Jimmy's show, and Jimmy writing mean tweets for Damon to read.
For 10 years, every night I wait in that green room, and every night Kimmel says, "Apologies to Matt Damon, we ran out of time."
To top off all this craziness, Matt's buddy Ben Affleck got involved too, but in support of Jimmy. Cue the comedic comeback known as I'm f***ing Ben Affleck. Number 2, John Krasinski. Yes, we all know him as Jim from The Office, and we came to love his character as he endlessly pranked Dwight, but it turns out he's pretty good at pranks in real life too, especially those aimed at former neighbor Jimmy Kimmel. John and Jimmy's prank feud goes all the way back to 2011, when John placed some cute, innocent Christmas decorations in Jimmy's house, and it all escalated from there.
And then I wrapped your car.
You gift wrapped my car.
And I put ornaments in your car.
Yes, that was a mess.
John's been drowned in eggnog, Jimmy's had his car covered in wrapping paper, and in this 2018 appearance on the show, John got some sweet revenge by advertising where Jimmy was staying in Brooklyn while his show was on location in New York.
I think this is going to be a violation of the Airbnb.
No, they love it. They love it. Yeah.
We wonder if Jimmy ended up getting any uninvited guests. Before we unveil our hilarious top pick, here are some more than honorable mentions.
After college, Barry went into black neighborhoods in Chicago to try to organize people. How white is that? Black people don't go into black communities. We don't have to. We're already there.
And secondly, the reason I don't go back there, I know this sounds ridiculous, but it makes me feel stupid when I say hello to somebody for the second time in like 10 minutes.
The double hello.
Yes, it's too much.
Of course.
All right, so my first question you wrote is, how are you so good at stuff?
Don't know, just am.
Is this real life?
Yeah, this is real life.
Okay, now? Okay, now
I have 2 fingers.
Good.
I'm looking at these guys, and all of a sudden I look at Gronk, and then Tom Brady's like right here, and I look him in the eyes, and I said, damn, you a pretty man. That's what I was thinking to myself.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there, though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1. Robert Downey Jr. Sometimes it can be hard to tell where cocky, brash, and hilarious Tony Stark begins and where Robert Downey Jr. ends. Because, well, RDJ is all those things as well. His interviews are the stuff of legend, his Instagram account is outrageous, and he's constantly cracking up his co-stars with his off-the-wall personality. Also, you just never know what he'll say in public. Like when Kimmel questioned how Downey Jr. got Chris Evans to take the Captain America role, and RDJ joked that he's basically responsible for the MCU existing.
There's no Marvel Cinematic Universe without me. Yeah, I did everything.
It's like you're like...
He's clearly speaking in jest, but we all know that every joke is 50% truth. And RDJ does cocky humor to perfection.
I don't want to say he made it up. Do you think I just call people on the phone and say, listen, you're going to do this movie?
I don't know.
What am I like?
I don't know what you're up to.
You're right.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.